The situation as far as Delhi is concerned, the very toxic air as far as Delhi-ites over the next, we have been seeing this since yesterday, but today this is the second consecutive day when the AQI is above 300 points. So GRAP 2 has been implemented in the Delhi-NCR region as Delhi breeds very poor category as far as the air is concerned. The air quality has slipped again, and GRAP 2 kicks in, and under which we are now going to see certain restrictions that are going to kick in on the use of coal and firewood as well as diesel generator sets in the Delhi-NCR region. So mechanical sweeping and water sprinkling on identified roads will be carried out on a daily basis. Dust control measures will be enforced at construction and demolition sites, and further, traffic personnel will be deployed at congestion points, while vehicle parking fees will be increased to discourage private transport, and additional bus and metro services will be started. To remember, GRAP 1 had kicked in as far as the National Capital Region is concerned. We're talking about the NCR region on the 15th of October. We have my colleague Shreya joining us. Shreya, visibly it's worse today than yesterday, and pollution is now hitting the eyes.
Absolutely, the air quality is worsening with each passing day, and with the Diwali festival around the corner, the GRAP 2 has been enforced by the Commission of Air Quality Management, and as per the recommendations, the residents of the national capital are requested to use public transport and avoid private cars, and that's why parking fee has also been increased to encourage drivers to use public transport like metro and CNG buses and electric buses. The authorities are instructed to conduct daily road cleaning, intensify inspections at construction sites, and ensure proper dust control by sprinkling water with dust suppressants and uninterrupted power supply to reduce generator use, and to, of course, combat the transportation pollution. The authorities are requested to, ensure traffic synchronization, and additional CNG and electric buses should be deployed, along with increased metro frequency. And most importantly, resident welfare associations across the national capital are also directed to provide electric heaters to prevent biomass. This is during peak winters, once the temperature kind of dips further below, then the resident welfare associations are directed to provide electric heaters. And remember that this kind of recommendations is important, and it's important that the authorities and the citizens of the national capital follow these measures, to ensure that the main sources of pollution like the industrial emission and transportation pollution, residential pollution is curbed, and most importantly, the dust pollution needs to be curbed, and that is why the residents are requested to sort of avoid dust generating activities, and authorities should continue carrying out anti-dust measures. And of course, we know that the root cause is also stubble burning, which is a growing menace, and we have seen there has been increasing cases being reported from Haryana and Punjab of stubble burning. So until and unless the root causes is addressed, the issue, the annual crisis of air pollution in the national capital is difficult to tackle. But with the enforcement of GRAP 2, it will definitely help in taking up individual as well as collective responsibility to address the worsening air quality in the national capital. Over to you.
Right. Thank you so much, Shreya, for getting us the exact situation on the ground. And to get more on this, we have Dr. Gufran Beg also joining us, meteorologist and a scientist. So when we talk about the pollution, and when we, now we have GRAP 2 that's kicked in from 8 o'clock this morning. Take us through the difference between GRAP 1 that was initiated on the 15th of this month. And, what is the difference between GRAP 1 and GRAP 2, and what all does this entail?
See, the situation that in GRAP 2, there are three major things which need to be implemented. Number one is the restriction of construction activities, then regulation of the traffic, and then dust control measures. Major. In addition to that, but my submission here is that as far as first and third are construction activity and dust control measures, they are the one which will control only PM10. The contribution of PM 2.5 is a major crux of the problem is the regulation of the traffic. because there are two kind of sources are there in the dust. One is a natural dust, which is in any way winds are so low, so natural dust is not going to be lifted because of anything. The resuspended dust is a problem, and resuspended dust comes from where? When you have some kind of activity on the roads, and exactly when the traffic is there on the roads, there would be a huge resuspended dust. So finally the problem get into the concentrate on the traffic regulation of the traffic, and that is something which is the major source. 40% of the contribution comes from the transportation sector, fossil fuel emissions. That need to be regulated by other things are minor, which will contribute only to reduce PM10, which is not a lead pollutant. Lead pollutant is PM2.5. So
Right,
my take here is that whether you want to restrict on a resuspended dust, which is coming from the movement of the vehicles on the road, on paved and unpaved area, and another one is that the congestion. The moment there is a congestion, there is a idling of the vehicle, huge amount the pollution released from there, and that is something which gets suspended because winds are so low, temperature is getting cool. So that is something which is the first priority which has to do, instead of getting into the construction activity. You know, the construction activities and all those are having in the pockets. Those dust particles are so heavy, they will be having an impact nearby region, but otherwise they will settle down. Major thing is which consistently releasing.
Right, restrictions such as parking, charges to be increased. They're trying to encourage public transportation. They will be increasing the buses and metro services. Sir, does this really help?
Yeah, see, the point is that you increase the parking charges, but the vehicles are coming. Now, by doing the parking charges, the idea is that vehicle movement would minimize. But as I see in Delhi, it's instead of paying 50 rupees, they may pay 100 rupees. But that doesn't really matter as far as I feel for them. So that is the only idea. So those are the measures which one has to hit and try. But the major issue remains that you need to avoid, you need to somehow do the traffic management so that congestion can be avoided. And specifically diesel-driven vehicle, which is still the, private vehicles are still, people are using the diesel-driven vehicle. That need to be restricted. So CNG mainly. So I think the best bet would be that electrical or the CNG related vehicles, if they are plying on the roads with a flow of a perfect traffic, no congestion, nothing, I think that will make a lot of difference, stopping all the diesel vehicles.